Good morning, mamas. What a joy it is for me to be here this morning with Sarah Miller of Isaiah117 House. If you know anything about me, you know that my second son we foster adopted, and just so many of our dear close friends have been involved with the foster system. And so I'm just so excited about what you guys are doing and just want you to share that with everyone. So tell us a little bit more about Isaiah117 House.
Yeah, okay, so Isaiah117 House is a home that cares for children awaiting foster placement.
Right.
So there is this waiting period that a lot of people don't know exists between when the time a child is removed from their home to the time that they walk through the doors of their foster home,
Right.
or their kinship home. And kinship is when a child's placed with an extended family member. So in that waiting period, immediately after removal, Child Protective Services is taking children to their local office here downtown on Austin Avenue, and there's one on Herring as well. And so they're just there in the office and they're waiting. And so Isaiah117 House is a house, full-size bedrooms, bathrooms, full kitchen, playground, where they can come and wait instead of being in the office.
Right.
And the caseworkers are always there with them. But what we can do is come alongside the caseworkers in that moment and really love on the child and meet their needs, whether that's playing games with them or baking their favorite cookies or playing on the playground, reading them a story. Of course, some of those really practical things too, like making sure that they're fed, they have a bed to sleep in, that they are able to take a bath. So many of them come from their removal hungry, dirty, tired. And so we're able to meet those really practical needs while also lightening the load for the caseworker. Right. So we can come alongside them and say, hey, do you need a cup of coffee? Have you eaten a meal today? How can we help you feel that sense of relief as well? Because those caseworkers are experiencing some secondary trauma when they have to process a removal, and they need that support and encouragement.
Yeah,
so.
It's a hard job.
Yes.
It's a hard role to be in.
For sure.
And yes, I know that. I mean, we've had kids. I know in Waco, in these offices, and sometimes spending the night.
Yes.
Multiple nights. I know there was a call that went out for like some resources, like they needed laundry done and things like that, just because they're stuck in an office. And and our removal is already traumatic.
Right.
And then to be in that situation where I love that you guys are providing this home-like environment, so it just takes a little bit of that, allows a little bit more of a normalcy, or at least a calming environment, and that's so important.
Yeah, and what we say is we want to help reduce the trauma, right? Because removal is trauma.
Yeah.
And even if their home is not a home that we would live in, that was their home. And
Right.
it's the only home they knew for most of them. That was their mom. And regardless of the decision she made, that's their mama. And they were forced to leave. And so that's so traumatic for them. And we just want to try to reduce it as much as we can. Just by being there and getting on their level and loving on them and caring for them. And just trying to brighten the day a little bit as much as we can. Yeah.
Right. So you guys opened the house. I mean, this is very new to Waco, but you guys are not the only Isaiah117 House,
right?
Correct?
So Isaiah117 House is a national organization.
Okay.
So the first Isaiah117 House ever opened in 2018.
Okay.
So only 3 years that it's been open. And since then, the organization has expanded into 6 states, and there's 29 homes total.
Oh, wow.
So 6 of those are open. And what we mean by that is they're accepting guests. The kiddos are coming through those homes.
Okay.
So every home is established and exists by their own local community. And so all the other 23 homes are either in construction or they're in raising awareness. Okay. And so actually for us, we don't have a home yet. Okay. So we are in the process of just talking to people about it like we're doing today, and letting them know, hey, this is a need in our area and this is how you can help. And so our hope is for the next 6 months just to talk to anybody who we can, just to tell them about it. I mean, so many people don't know that what you said is happening. I mean, all through the year, we've had kiddos sleeping in those offices for days, for weeks, for months. There's some kiddos there right now, and all they asked for was a teddy bear. And so I know I get choked up just thinking about it. And so there are some things that our community members have been doing to help step up, right? They're in that office. There's not a laundry facility. And so how can we come alongside
serve.
and
Yeah.
serve.
Yeah.
How can we lighten the load of the caseworkers by taking them a meal? Because they're having to complete all the paperwork and do their job like they do on a normal basis, but also care for these kids.
Right.
And make sure that they're fed and all. So let us do that as a community, right? And so some of those things have been happening, which is exciting, but we're really excited to bring something official like this that can serve in that gap,
Okay,
in
so
that
then-
waiting period.
So the next step will be, so right now you're raising awareness, but then you will hopefully be opening a home in like an actual
Yes,
house.
an
And that's
actual
what
house,
it, okay.
yes.
So
It's-
that's kind of the next phase. Okay, perfect.
Yes, so for the next 6 months or so, we are just telling everybody we can. We're popping up at the farmer's market. We're
Yeah.
selling these T-shirts.
Yay. Okay.
And so everything that we do is our goal is to raise awareness for the next 6 months. And so the reason we sell T-shirts and why we do those little things is because people start to see the logo. They see people wearing the T-shirt and they'll
Right.
start to recognize it and wonder, what is that? And then they'll
Right.
look into it, and then it just
Yeah.
goes from there. And so social media is a huge help with that too. So anybody can follow us on Facebook. Isaiah117 House, McLennan County is
Okay.
our page specific
Okay.
to our home. And so we're just like sharing and sharing stories of open homes there, just so people have this awareness of what's happening
Right.
and how we can serve. And so that's the next 6 months. And then in April, we actually have a fundraiser. And so it's April 26th, a Tuesday. It took me a minute to think about that, but it's a lunch and a dinner option, so anybody can come, and we ask people to host a table. But there's no financial commitment to host a table.
Okay.
You just say, hey, I'm going to host a table, and I'm going to fill it with my 10 friends, and we're going to come and be committed to giving in some way, whether
Okay.
that's a one-time donation or a recurring donation. And so that fundraiser is a way that people can support. And then as soon after that as we can, we want to start building or renovating a home.
That's
so
fantastic.
we're really looking
this is
forward to it.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's such a meaningful thing, and it's really vital. Like it's vital right now for
sure.
these kids, and we definitely want to see this move forward. And so I know you mentioned your Facebook page. You're also on Instagram.
Yes,
and
we
I'll
are.
throw those. I'll definitely throw those into the video.
Awesome.
We want people finding you, following you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, okay, so we definitely can know that the fundraiser will be one way we can support you.
Sure.
If you want to throw out a few little ways that we can support you right now.
Yeah, for sure. So anyone who's looking to actively get involved, right now we have a volunteer team who's just helping us raise awareness. So they're selling T-shirts, they're helping us get connected to speak at churches, and they're doing all those little
Perfect.
things.
Okay.
So we meet with that group once a month. It's the second Sunday of every month at 1:30 p.m.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's at Startup Waco. So that
Okay.
meeting is open to the public. Anybody can come, even if they don't want to serve on a committee,
Right.
and be the boots on the ground right now. They can just come and hear where we're at with
Right.
things. So that's open to anybody. And then a really cool opportunity we have coming up, we're calling Hot Cocoa for a Cause. It's a
Yeah, I
hot
saw
chocolate stand day. Yeah. And we're basically just asking people to host hot chocolate stands all over our county.
Fun.
And so any donations that every stand raises will go to the home here in our county. Just as when we sell the T-shirts, that money
Right.
goes directly to our home in our county. And so a way to raise awareness by, when people drive around town, our hope is that they see these hot chocolate stands everywhere and they're like, what is that? What's
Yeah.
going on today?
Start asking questions so
Right.
yeah.
Right. And so anybody could do that. I mean, your life group or your little league or your
Right.
family, your child and their friends. And so hosting that hot chocolate stand is another way to do that. And then, we'll just have a lot of different things like that popping up. We've got a pastor's breakfast coming up for anybody who's in leadership or on staff at a church, to come and hear more. And
Right.
otherwise, we're really just asking people to think intentionally about who their circle of influence is. I think so many times we just go about our days and we forget who we're connected to. And so whether it is your church or your civic organization that you're a part of, or even your business, I mean, maybe
Right.
we can just come and share with your business what we're doing. Who knows in those environments who's really going to feel called to step up. And I think one thing that's really exciting to see is when we've been doing this, there's that jaw-dropping factor, right? People don't
I
know.
don't realize.
And once they realize it, they're so generous and they want to help. And so anything that any of us could do to connect us to those people is really helpful. That's really our biggest goal.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Sarah, thank you so much for coming in today. We definitely, mamas, I want you to definitely find Isaiah117 House, McLennan County, follow, see if there's just anything that you can step in and do and help with. And of course, I would love for you to subscribe or follow us on Instagram so you won't miss the next Monday Mom Minute. We'll see you next Monday.